Today, we're going to tackle a really powerful question. What if that anxiety, that anger, those racing thoughts you deal with, what if they aren't actually a permanent part of who you are? What if you could literally unlearn them?
You know that feeling, right? That sense that you're just hardwired to be anxious or to have a short temper or to worry all the time. It can feel like you're just stuck with the personality you were given, and that's that.
But what if that's not the whole story? Here's a new idea that kind of flips the script. Instead of saying, I'm just an anxious person, it suggests that anxiety isn't your identity. It's a habit, and it's a habit that only has power because you keep feeding it. To really get this, we're going to use a specific word, afflictions. Now, this isn't just feeling a little down. An affliction is a mental state that actively causes you to suffer. Think greed, anger, anxiety. But here's the absolute key. They are not who you are. They're just learned patterns, kind of like bad habits you've picked up over time. So, how do these habits get so strong? It's simple, really. We feed them. Every single time you let yourself spiral into an angry thought, or chew on a worry, or cling to some desire, you're basically giving that habit lunch. And the reverse is also true. If you stop feeding them, they start to starve. They get weaker. There's a really great analogy for this. Think about a classmate you knew back in elementary school. For a while, you saw them every single day, but now, you probably can't even remember their last name, right? The memory has faded because you stopped paying attention to it. Well, your afflictions work the exact same way. Starve them of your attention, and they start to fade away.
Okay, so if these afflictions are habits that we're feeding, what's their main food source? What's the number one thing that nourishes most of the suffering we go through?
Well, the answer we're looking at today is incredibly direct. It points to one main culprit, greed. Or maybe a better way to put it is desire.
Now hold on, this isn't just about wanting a bigger TV. The kind of desire we're talking about here is deeper. It's this intense, deep-seated clinging. It's that desperate feeling of needing to have something, to hold on tight to people or outcomes, and that absolute fear of letting go.
And if you think about it, this clinging is the root of so much of our day-to-day pain. That gut-wrenching pain when you're separated from someone you love, that's clinging. That stress of having to deal with something you hate, that's you clinging to the desire for it to be gone. Even that constant restless buzz in the back of your mind, it's all fueled by this desire for things to be different than they are.
Now, I know this might sound a little bit heavy, but this is where everything shifts. Because remember the core idea. These are just habits. And the great thing about habits, they can be retrained. The solution isn't to just wish these feelings away, it's to actively build a new mental muscle.
And here's a super practical way to do it, a 21-day training plan. It's broken into 3 simple stages. For the first 7 days, your only job is to notice the habit after it's already happened. That's it. No judgment, just notice. Then, in the middle week, you start to catch yourself right in the middle of it, and you stop. And by that final week, the goal is to get so good at this that you can spot the urge as it's just starting to bubble up, and you stop it before it even gets going.
So what do you actually do in that moment? You can use a really simple but powerful command. The second you feel that old anxiety or anger creeping in, you just tell yourself, this thought is harming me. Come back. It's like you're grabbing the steering wheel and pulling your mind back onto the road. Now, I can practically hear you thinking, okay, this sounds like a lot of work. And it is, which brings up a really common question. Can't I just rely on someone else, on outside help to fix this for me?
And that's a fair question. Here's a way to think about it. Outside help can be incredibly valuable. It can help you clear away old junk, old obstacles, and give you a fresh start. But what it can't do is build your internal strength for you. Only you can build the wisdom to stop creating new problems for yourself.
The material we're drawing from uses this amazing analogy. It says that external help can clear away a whole mountain of trash from your life. But if you don't change the habit of making trash in the first place, you're just going to end up with 10 more mountains down the road. The real, lasting change has to come from within.
This whole thing really boils down to 2 things that you and only you can build for yourself. The first is what's called true merit. That's the positive energy that comes from your own actions and intentions. And the second is wisdom and ability, the actual practical skill of managing your own mind. You got to earn that through practice.
So where does this whole journey even begin? It doesn't start with some complicated theory. It starts with one simple but incredibly powerful act, self-witnessing. Just learning to watch your own mind work without getting swept away by it.
And that brings us to our final and maybe most challenging idea for today. The next time a big wave of emotion hits you,
anger, anxiety, whatever it is, can you resist the urge to get into the story of why you feel that way? And instead, can you just taste its bitterness?
What does that even mean? It means feeling the raw physical sensation of that emotion. What does it actually feel like in your body? Is there a heat spreading across your chest? A tightness in your throat? A weird, empty feeling in your stomach? When you can just observe those physical feelings without getting lost in the story your mind is telling you, that's the moment you stop feeding the habit. That, right there, is where your true power begins.